If you're applying for permanent residence via spousal sponsorship in Canada, you don't need proof of fund and you don't need to write IELTS. It's as simple as your partner is sponsoring you. So that's it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and season greetings to you all. My name is Felicia and I'm a lifestyle YouTuber. If this is your first time on my channel, this is the very first time you're coming across the channel, this is the best channel you can subscribe to. So please click on the subscribe button and just like that, be part of the loved ones. And if you're a returning subscriber, you should already know that I appreciate you all. I appreciate you guys so daily. Thank you so much for always supporting the channel. So this video is probably my most requested video since I've relocated, either on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Several DMs, comment on my post that I should make videos on my application process. So this video is how I relocated from Nigeria to Canada as a permanent resident via spousal sponsorship. So let's get straight into the video. And I'm with my laptop, so I wouldn't want to miss any points in case of anybody wants to watch this video to start their application or start their process. So yeah, let's get straight into this video. I divided the video into like 3 sections. The first one is who and who is qualified for this application. Then the second one is documents required for the application. And the third one is for me to tell you the process, step by step process I went through my own. So without wasting much of your time, let's get straight into this video. So who and who is qualified for this type of application, spousal sponsorship? You need like 2 individuals obviously for it to make it work. The first one is a sponsor. So before you can be a sponsor, you have to be either PR or citizen in Canada. Either you're a permanent resident in Canada or you're a citizen in Canada. So that's like the first category. Then the second one is principal applicant. For example, like myself, I'm the one applying for permanent residence, so I'm the principal applicant. So after having a sponsor, I myself, like the principal applicant, the reason why I'm qualified for this application is if I'm married to either a permanent resident or I'm married to a citizen. There's another thing that you have to be in common law relationship with the PR with the citizen. In Nigeria, we don't actually practice that common law thing, so I really will not dive into that because I don't have so much information about it. So we're going to strictly still stick to marriage. That's for my case. So 2 individuals, you have to have the PR or the sponsor, then the principal applicant that is married to a PR or a citizen. So in a simple way, in my own application, I am the principal applicant. So, and my husband is the sponsor. So I am married to a permanent resident. That is why I am qualified to apply for this PR via spousal sponsorship. I hope someone is getting something like that. So in this application, like if you're applying for permanent residence via spousal sponsorship in Canada, you don't need proof of fund and you don't need to write IELTS. It's as simple as your partner is sponsoring you. So that's it. No proof of funds, no IELTS exam. But of course, you have to pay for application fee. The application fee is 1,165 Canadian dollar. 1,165 Canadian dollar. As at when I applied to you, like today, it might change tomorrow because we don't know what the RSC is doing with the money thing and all. I don't know. But as at of today, and when I did mine, it was 1,165 Canadian dollar, inclusive of your biometric fee. So when they are sending you biometrics request, you don't have to pay money to anybody. It is inclusive. Your 1,165 Canadian dollar is inclusive of your biometric fees. So that being said, we're going to move to the next section of this video, which is we are going to talk about the documents required for this application. So obviously we want to travel out. The Obvious first document you need is your travel document, which is your passport. So if you don't have a passport and you want to apply for a PR in Canada, obviously you need to get your passport done. So yeah, that is like the obvious and first documents that you need. So because I'm saying first, second, third doesn't mean like that's like there's a hierarchy or anything. I'm just trying to like the way I listed it. So no one is more essential than the other, or I hope you're getting my point. So yeah, the first document you need is your travel documents or your passport. Then we'll talk about um proof of status of your sponsor. Like I said, we need two individuals for this application to work. So in this case, you need a proof of status for your spouse that is sponsoring you. So it's either he's a PR, they will need your PR card, or citizen, your passport, your blue passport. So yeah, either of the two. That's the second document. Then the third one is police reports. Obviously, even if you're a student, I need police reports. So go to your police station, wherever you want to do it, and get your police report done. Then the next one is digital photograph. So digital photograph for PR, Canada PR have their specification. So go to studio that would get the specification right. So you won't have to keep going back and getting photographs. I used Studio 24. So yeah, I remember the day I went there, I got there, I was like, okay, which country? I was like, Canada, PR, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't need to explain to them. They already like know the specification at all. So it's better for you to go to that search studios that they know the specification. So the first thing I talk about is the travel documents. The second one is your spouse um, proof of status. Then the third one is police reports. Then the fourth one is digital photograph. So the next documents that you need is your birth certificate or record of adoption. So if you are submitting this, try and give them a legal, a government document. Don't give them document that was given to you in your church or in your mosque. I don't think the Canada recommend all those kind of documents. So if you're giving them your birth certificate, make sure is the government one. So the next document is relationship information or proof of relationship. So this section is actually very cumbersome because you need a lot of documents, and this is where you're going to like provide every document that it is validating your marriage, your relationship with your spouse. So the first thing they obviously for you to make ready is your marriage certificate. Marriage certificate, also like your birth certificate, try and give them a government one. So they don't really need your church marriage certificate. What they need is your court marriage certificate, the one that government was the one that bind you together. So you get, so then the next one is your wedding invitation and photos. So wedding invitation as it is your wedding ID card, invitation card. Then photos. For photos, in my case, we didn't just submit my wedding photos. And when I'm talking about wedding photos, they just don't need your suit and your white. They need when the event happened, your reception pictures, your church pictures, the court pictures, every pictures that can validate the fact that there was an event that happened, that you guys actually married. So yeah, for my case, we submitted my wedding, my reception picture, my court picture, just normal outing when we were dating, and like you get. So try and take the pictures back to like a year, probably when he proposes or she proposes. Like just make the picture eventful. Try and go back in memories with your pictures, probably a year. So put all these things together just to prove your relationship. So yeah, next I'm going to talk about is a letter narrating your love story. Yeah, you're going to type a letter. You're probably going to sit down with your husband, um, via video call, wherever you guys are together. Type a letter narrating your story, probably the day you met. If you guys were friends, just they want to hear how your story evolves. So just sit down, be natural about it. You don't have to give money to anybody to help you to write your to narrate your love story. So sit down, write your love story yourself. You can make movie out of it. That's the part of the document, please. So narrate your love story in a letter. That's another document you need. Then the next one is your proof of financial support. So in this one, some people can submit um, a document if you have a property together, maybe you own a house together, you have a joint account. But for my case, what I used was proof of financial support, like bank statement for a year. So it's just like showing how he's sending money to me, he's supporting me financially and stuff. So that was what we submitted to for the proof of financial support. Let me go over that again. If you don't understand what I'm saying, for proof of financial support, most times they need your bank statement, but sometimes if you have a property together, that can help too. So submit that properties document. If you have a joint account, submit that document and all those, like anything that will prove that you people are supporting each other financially. Yeah, you need that. So the next thing is your chat history.
Are you serious right now, bro?
So if people say, "Oh, my chat is my private, blah blah blah," you have to submit your chat history for a year. Just take it. For my case, I used a year. You might want to use 6 years, or I don't know, but for me, I used just a year. So, for example, our chat history from January 2022 to December 2022, the whole history. They want to read how you guys tell each other you love each other, if you guys argue or how you settle it, all those things. They want to read all those things. So you don't have to be they don't care. It's not like they're going to publish it. So just give them what they want, give them your chat history. I mean, when I'm saying chat history, between you and your sponsor, your spouse. So yeah, a year chat history. So once you put all those together, then lastly, the document required is proof of payment. I'm going to talk about this when we get to the process. But of course, after paying your 1,165 Canadian dollar, print a proof, a document that is going to state that you pay your money. So you will need that document too. So those are literally all the documents that you need for this application. Let me go through it again. The first one is your travel document, or your passport. Then the second one is a proof of status for your spouse, the person that is sponsoring. Then the third one is your police report. The third and the fourth one is your digital photograph. The fifth one is birth certificate or adoption record. Then next we go to relationship information or proof of relationship. Under this, you have your marriage certificate, your wedding invitation, your photos, probably a year memories photos. But for the photos, like I said, make sure your wedding events, reception, church, court with your family and everybody, let all those photos be there. Later narrating your love story, then proof of financial support. Like I said, your bank statements, if you own the property together, if you own a joint account, all those ones. Then your chat history for a year. Then lastly, you need a proof of payment. So those are the documents that is required for this application. And so we're moving to the third part of this video where we're going to talk about the process involved. Once you get to the application portal, you would have to download 4 documents. The first one is IMM 533. That's a document checklist. This document is going to guide you all through your application process. Then the next document is IMM 1344, application to sponsor. So in this case, this document will be filled by your sponsor. In my case, my husband, because he's the PR, he's the one sponsoring me. So that document, IMM 1344, is for my spouse to fill. Then the next one is IMM 532, relationship information and sponsorship evaluation. This document, you have to be very, very careful when you are filling the form, because all this proof of relationship, your marriage certificate, your letter narrating your love story, your all the documents you provide to prove your relationship, they must corroborate everything you're filling in IMM 532, your relationship information document. Every story must corroborate. Let's say, for example, maybe when you're narrating your love story in the letter, you said you met in 2019, or let's say 2019 January. Now, when you're filling the form, they ask you when you met, and you're filling 2020 February. Your story is not corroborating. So everything must be in line. Don't antagonize yourself. Don't give them reason to doubt anything. Just like corroborate your day, your months, your year. So yeah, so after you fill that document, the fourth document you're going to fill is IMM 5563. This is supplementary travel document information. So this last document is just to tell them where you traveled to for the past 10 years, like your travel history for the past 10 years. Mind you, they are not referring to Lagos to Abuja or Ekiti to Osun State.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Pardon me for you that you're not watching from Nigeria. What they're trying to say is your travel history, that you've traveled out of your country. Let's say, for example, if you're staying in India and you've traveled to Nigeria, if you're staying in Nigeria, you've traveled to UK, like just like you've traveled out of your country. So it's not like from Mumbai to somewhere else in India or from Ekiti to Lagos, or that's not the kind of travel document they need. For my sake, it was easy for me to fill this document because I haven't traveled out of the country before. So, like before I left for Canada, obviously. But so after filling all these four documents, let me go again. Let me list the document again. IMM 533, that's your document check. IMM 1344, that's your application to sponsor. That is filled by your spouse, like the person that is sponsoring you. Then IMM 532, that's your relationship information and sponsorship evaluation. Like I said, this third document, make sure it's corroborating every document you're submitting. Um, IMM 5562, that is a supplementary travel document. So those are the documents that you need to fill on the portal. So once you're done with filling documents, attaching all these documents that I've mentioned earlier, and you've attached your proof of payment after you've done all these and you've submitted. After submission, the next step, the next mail you're waiting for is your AOR, acknowledgement of receipt. Let me just advise anybody that's applying for this, you just need to learn how to be patient, because now I'm going to be telling you the interval, the times at which they are giving me the next step and all, and you'll be like, can I wait this long? You just have to learn how to be patient, especially when you're applying for PR in Canada. So yeah, after submitting my application, I waited for 7 weeks before I received my AOR. So after AOR, then the waiting continue. You have to wait again because it's just like they told you that, yeah, we've received your application. Like 7 weeks, we've received your application. So after my AOR, the next step is your biometrics request letter. So for my case, I got my biometrics request letter 3 weeks after my AOR. So the moment I got my biometrics request, the next day my husband got sponsor eligibility approval letter. I think that's the way it is called. So in that letter, it's just basically to tell him that he has met the requirements for him to sponsor. The moment I received my biometric request letter, obviously I booked my appointment with VFS Lekki. I booked the appointment online. So my appointment was like in the next 3 days when I booked. So I went for my biometrics. So my biometrics reflected on my portal has completed within 24 hours. So the waiting continued. And mind you, when they sent the letter of eligibility, it was written in the letter that my application was transferred from Sydney to Accra. So I think when I submitted my application, they were processing my application till my biometrics in Sydney. So I don't know why they send it to Accra, probably because of the address. I know that from Nigeria, let's just send it to an African country or something. I don't know their reason, but yeah, they transferred my application to Accra. So the momentum of my application just changed and it became slower, like very slow. I don't know why. Because normally some people say they receive medicals like maybe same week with biometrics, but for my case, after my biometrics was completed, I waited 12 weeks before I got my medical request. Within these 12 weeks, there was a lot of prayer. Of course, we didn't just see it. We read online, you join groups, you see what is going on with Accra, why is it taking so much for medical requests. I really don't have the answers to today, but all I know is that I waited 12 weeks after my biometric request before I got my medical request letter. So, like I said, within all this waiting period, my husband, because he's in Canada, he will call from here and I will be like, oh yeah, the office is not in Canada here, it's in Accra. What we can do is to fill form and online form. We filled all those form and all to just like let them see what is going on. So sometimes if you are in this period, what you can do is like if your spouse is in Canada, you can let them call and let them give you a mail that you can send a reminder that you have an ongoing application, you've not heard from it and stuff like that. So we did all this when I was waiting. Waiting is not easy. Waiting is not always easy, especially indefinite waiting. So when I got my medical request letter, I quickly, I think it was the same day, I booked an appointment with Q Live in Lekki, which cost 46,500. So after paying 1,165 Canadian dollar, the only additional cost I paid was 46,500 for my medical. You're paying that to Q Life, not to IRCC. So yeah, I paid 46,500, and I booked my appointment, which was like 3 weeks from the day I booked it. So the third week, I went for my medicals at Lekki, and after that, it took 11 days for the medicals to reflect completed on my portal. 11 days from the day I did my medicals at Q Life. So the next email I was expecting from RCC after I completed my medicals obviously is pre-arrival. What we were all waiting for is probably after a month after my medicals, I'll get my PPR and stuff. But guys, I waited another 10 good weeks, 10 good weeks for my P-arrival document. P-arrival is just RSS is telling you what and what you can do before your arrival, if you can start looking for job and stuff. That document is like a lot if you want to read it. But obviously, once you get your pre-arrival document, you're already happy that obviously PPR is coming soon. I received my PPR the next day, like it's just a day interval. Sometimes people receive it start same day, but for me, I got mine the next day. So after getting my PPR, obviously, I just like PPR is a passport request. So passport request is as good as you're good to go. So obviously you just have to send a passport to be stamped. So all you have to do is send your passport. That takes roughly 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It varies actually. That varies. So but I think the maximum should be like 6 or 7 weeks before you get your passport back, and just book your flight and you're good. So that is my whole journey in this application. And to wrap it up, let me just tell you my whole PR application process took 9 months. So if you've been following from 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 10 weeks, you should be able to calculate it. My application took 9 months. Some people takes like 6 months, some a year, some 2 years. I don't know how your luck is coming for you. And that is everything with my application. If you want to go through this application process, you should be able to get one or two things with this video. And this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching to this very point. Please and please like the video, share the video. It keeps going out when you like the video. So don't forget to like this video, share it to someone that you know they might need it. And if you have any further question, you can put it on the comment section. And I'm going to make like a poll on my community where I'm going to tell people to ask any question they want. I think I'll do that in Instagram too, and make probably a sit-down video to answer any other questions that you want. But if you have like an urgent question that you still like you're not clear on what I just said, put it in the comment section. I'm going to definitely respond to you. So like I said, don't forget to like the video, share the video, and if you're watching this video and you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button, and see you guys in my next video.